What are you eating now?
It's a mambo stick.
just
Mambo
kidding.
number 5.
I didn't want that to come across as like me not wanting,
I'm not.
like, upset that you're eating.
I'm
Because I don't give a fuck that you're eating.
I'm not.
I want you to eat.
I just thought it was really funny that you came over and then like I, as a usual Italian, was like, here, eat, and then just started fucking bringing snacks upstairs.
It was
That
actually,
baby bell.
it actually was really comforting because like, it reminded me of being a kid and coming over to somebody's, like my friend's house and just eating and chilling, you know?
Well, hi there, little Lawrence. Would you like some snacks?
You want some treats?
Yes, Mrs. Williams. I want some tweets.
Speaking of tweet and Twitter and tweeting, I deleted my Twitter account
Oh, what's about damn time?
because not only do I despise Elon, but he's also going to start charging people. And I was like, in this economy?
Yeah, he said a small fee.
I said,
No, ma'am.
Excuse me.
No, ma'am.
You think I got Twitter money?
yeah, bitch, come on,
Oh my! Oh! I've got a joke to tell you.
please.
Lauren Boebert.
Yes, what about her?
Can you believe that she and her new boyfriend were trying to juice each other's Beatles while they were at the Beetlejuice concert performance? And that married bitch, she got some titties. I was watching him like squeeze.
Was she? Were they really?
Yeah, he was.
I didn't watch it. I just heard about it.
She was, well, first it was the vaping, and then come to find out she was rubbing his Johnson, and he was massaging her breasts.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Mrs. Christian Family Values, I mean, you're married still. Just because you're going through a divorce. And I remember when my parents were going through a divorce and, like, Kim was starting to date because whatever. And people were like, but she's still married. And I was like, yeah, but, like, they're getting a divorce. Like, why does it matter? But it kind of does if you're going to perpetuate
Oh, like a stance on like certain values and stuff.
There we
like
go.
Yeah.
Thank
okay,
you.
I understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
Isn't she the one that has the son that's dating somebody who's really young, or somebody's dating somebody who's really young?
He got her underage pregnant. She was underage and got her pregnant. Yes.
I try to stay away from those people, and because they trigger me,
I know.
and so like I try to keep them far away from my feed in all social media channels.
And he owns a bar that is not a gay bar, but hosts a drag night.
Jeez, come on. Just own it. Fucking own it.
Just, you're gonna be a bitch. Do it right.
Just either do it right, shit or get off the pot, or just own it.
Or shit your pants. Fuck around and shit your pants.
You would never do something like that.
And my name is Jaron, and I shit my pants.
That was South Park vibes.
And that's Lawrence.
And I have shat my pants.
When you were a child.
Has shat, has shitting, will shat, has shat.
Forever shitter. Sir. He was like, I'm done. Our pronouns are he, him, and we are your hosts.
Of typically.
Just finish it.
Your host of Typically Divergent Podcast.
Welcome to the
Thanks
show.
for joining us on this Monday.
So common of you. Like someone messaged us on our Instagram page. Which one? Typically
white bitch. Jaron and I haven't seen each other for a
8
week.
days. Wow.
It's been 8 days.
Yeah, because last episode was recorded on a Wednesday.
Oh, you're right. You got some good ones tonight.
I know. Well, it's that LaCroix.
You're popping them off.
Limoncello.
I like
Sponsor us.
LaCroix. I do. I don't care what anybody says.
You want a sip of this?
Mm-hmm. I sure the fuck do.
So, you know how like neurodivergent people will have like 3 beverages, one for hydration, one for excitement, and one to like wake them up. I came home, cracked open a cold LaCroix, poured some cold brew and then started chugging some water, and I was like, triple
That's
fist
me.
in here, everybody.
Yeah, I do that.
It's terrible.
What the fuck was
I
that?
don't know what this is, but I'm gonna drop it on your floor.
It's just string, okay? It's not brick jaw. I'm sorry. I'll pick it up.
No, it's fine. When that
Well-
gets stuck in my vacuum cleaner, I'll call you. We're switching rooms.
Oh yeah, we're officially doing it.
Yeah, don't know when,
you want
but
some
it's
help?
gonna happen. No, because Nicholas is gonna be here, and it's just.
Oh, he's just gonna want to control that. Yeah.
I just think that 3 heads is too much.
Yeah. I'll just be watching you guys bend down.
I'm like, oh wow! I love the way you move it. Move it. That's always a good thing we're not on camera.
Oh, that was.
Oh god! You know, for a person who doesn't have a vagina, I sure
You really
do.
know how to
I
work
sure
that.
fucking flip my imaginary bean a lot. How was your week? I sound like a smoker.
I like it.
I do too. I miss smoking though. I know, right? Like we're at day 50.
Come on.
We're at day like 62, 52, and I'm still like, a cigarette sounds nice. I don't have a craving for it. I'm just like,
Is it like one of those cravings that go away after 15 minutes?
Well, so they're not technically cravings do go away after 15 minutes, but this does not feel like a craving. It's more of just like jealousy, like must be nice. Must be nice to hate
Watching
yourself.
people when they're driving, you're like
people
you give them the bird.
People in movies will like throw a half cigarette, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Do you know how important that is? One day you're gonna think about all those half smoked cigarettes that you tossed, and you're gonna regret it.
That's like $3.50, bitch.
I had a client who was like, "Oh, that's great. You're probably saving yourself like what, $20 a week?"
And you're like, bitch, no, you're new.
I was like, "Have you ever smoked cigarettes?" No, never had an interest in it. Must be nice.
That's why you
Yeah.
think it's only $20 a week.
I was like, got $20 a week. Like, do you think
I wish.
Do you think I would quit smoking if that's all it cost me? I said, try $20 in 2 days.
Yeah.
He was, oh wow. And I was like, yeah, and I was smoking American Spirits. Those are organic.
Yeah.
And he just like rolls his eyes like, okay, organic. Anyway.
It's like you would have rolled your eyes if I would have said Marlboro.
Slim Jims, or Slim Jims, Virginia Slims. I loved Virginia Slims. They were just like
Like a straw.
it was smaller than a straw. Those fuckers are so
Like a
damn.
toothpick.
Yeah, yeah, they're so tiny.
Like I know. I never smoked.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but not like as more like a social thing. I never really took it up.
Wow, that's cool.
up.
Pick it up.
Took it up the what?
And digging up holes. Filling my
Digging up
bowl.
bone. That's a Randy Travis song, is digging up bone. Digging up bone.
Oh, baby. You know what I was thinking about before you came over? It's a masterpiece. Come clean. I kept saying that over into my head, and I was just like,
That was a good one.
I know.
I did good.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Did you like last week's episode? I hope
we
you
did.
God, I loved it so much. I loved it so much that I listened to it while I was doing cardio at the gym, and I couldn't focus on my cardio because I was laughing so hard. I was like doing my steps on the Stairmaster, and I was like,
Look at the vapors.
the vapors.
The vapors. Not the vapors, baby.
Oh my god. I'm not here to judge, but like if you smoke out of a vape, just fucking smoke a real cigarette like a normal person. Like what the fuck is your problem? Oh. One of my clients and I were talking about
tea.
one of my clients and I were talking about that. I was like, I feel like a big tech was like, what do we not have our fingers in? Oh, let's attack cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Just get real nicotine in your body like a normal person.
Yeah.
So
My week is fine.
okay. Thank you.
I have an A in math.
Yay.
NSYNC has been making appearances all week. My teeny bopper self is flourishing and very lively, and it's all I've been listening to in the car is NSYNC, and
That's so good.
I feel so, I don't know, it's just filling a void right now.
Oh.
It's filling a void right now.
Oh, how big is that void?
Not big. It's not a big one. It's just they are conjuring up feelings that I've missed when I was young.
Yeah.
And being in transitioning and being like becoming the person that I am, and like seeing them again has like kind of like opened up like a, I don't know, it's like a, not a reunion, but I don't know how to explain it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's
I
like
do.
my inner child is like getting like a second chance and like kind of being like, hello, how are
Hello.
you? You know, like, hello, how are you? NSYNC's on the TV.
I did see that a post recently that like 98 Degrees was like NSYNC's reunion is really like tarnishing our ability for a comeback, and I'm like, buddy,
What comeback?
Exactly. Thank you.
Chicken of the Sea, like what? Do you...
Hey,
Jessica
iconic
Simpson,
moment.
She wild. She did a good voice though.
She did. I don't like her now because of her political views.
No, she's.
I'm a small town girl. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You think chicken is in the fucking sea, bitch?
Right.
Like, don't talk to me about.
I mean, I know it says tuna, but it says chicken of the sea. So, like, is it chicken or is it tuna?
Write to us if you remember this.
Oh, somebody did write to us.
Fuck yeah.
It was Mozzarella's Pizza. Sarah Clark from high school.
I was like, Mozzarella's Pizza reached out to us. Are they going to give us some free pies? Can you imagine?
Hey, Mozzarella's Pizza, sponsor us, please.
Can you imagine?
Our high school kept you in business. Yeah, Sarah Clark. And then I fucking ran into her.
You did?
At Trader Joe's that day.
Interesting as fuck.
The day that I took off, my emergency personal day, to spend it with Nicholas. And I'm in Trader Joe's, and I just like turn, and she's like, "Hey, do you recognize me?"
You're like a celebrity.
And I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And then she started talking, and I was like, "Oh, I know who this is now."
Oh yeah, I got.
And she loves our show, and she wanted to send our show to a friend of hers, but this friend of hers is like a grody daughter. So she was like, I couldn't do it. And I didn't hear what she said first. I didn't hear what she said at first. And I was like, yeah, I'll try to make an episode that's like family friendly. And she was like, no, she's 20 something years old, but her father is a grody. I was like, oh,
Hey, you know what? Listen at your own risk.
And I was like, well, honestly, at this point, she's got to know.
I know, like, she could just. I mean, we have to have a little bit of spice in our episode. It's gonna make somebody angry. No, but that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah.
Sarah, for reaching out to us. She was one of my homies in high school.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Mozzarella's pizza. It was the comment. It was the post about the alien fetus, and she was like, "It was Mozzarella's pizza." And they're still in business. And I was like, oh, that's great.
Good for them.
I know. Hey, Mozzarella's Pizza, why are you still in business? How are you still in business? Do people still eat your food? I'm going to, because you thought it was Mancino's.
I thought it was Mancino's.
And,
I believe, yeah.
And it sounded, I mean, obviously, like Mozzarella's Mancino's, they sound similar because of the M's. Yeah, they're still on
Mancino's-
DuPont.
Are Mancino's still in business, or did
Oh,
they
yeah.
recently? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. They were in trouble at the. Okay, they are still open. They were in trouble because of the
2020.
the pandemic. They were the COVID got them in trouble.
The COVID got them.
But yeah, I was like, thank you so much. She goes, oh, they're still around. I was like, oh, that's great.
Hell yeah.
That's so great. So I am not going to read the whole article. I will copy and paste this into the description of this episode, but I do want to read this article. I do want to read a section of this article to you that Nicholas found this week that I thought was really interesting.
Okay. Hit me.
It's
It started out really quiet, and then I was like,
Nicholas, we were in the bedroom one night. He goes, I'm going to go brush my teeth. He starts walking out, and then he stops at the doorway, and he turns around and starts telling me something. And I was like, I need you to leave right now.
I just shit myself.
And so I let it out, and then he's in there for like 5 minutes or some. He comes in, he goes, oh, it's like the density in the air changes or something. I was like, I'm so sorry. My tummy. I got protein. It's fermenting in my colon. What do you want me to? I can't help it. So anybody out there, if you see a person who looks like they work out a lot and they got big muscles, I promise you they fart a lot. And I'm not even hitting my protein goal. And I'm still, oh God, it's so terrible. I'm going to start eating yogurt with every meal just to keep the probiotics going.
I would.
Okay, so this article is called Many of Today's Unhealthy Foods Were Brought to You by Big Tobacco. For smack. For decades, tobacco companies hooked people on cigarettes by making their products more addictive. Now, a new study suggests that tobacco companies may have used a similar strategy to hook people on processed foods. In 1980s, tobacco giants Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds acquired the major food companies Kraft, General Foods, and Nabisco, allowing tobacco firms to dominate America's food supply and reap the billions in sales by popular brands such as Oreos, Kraft Mac and Cheese, and Lunchables. By the 2000s, the tobacco giants spun off their food companies and largely exited the food industry, but not before leaving a lasting legacy on the food that we eat. The new research published in the journal Addiction focuses on the rise of hyperpalatable foods, which contain potent combinations of fat, sodium, sugar, and other additives that can drive people to crave and overeat them. The Addiction study found that in the decades when the tobacco giants owned the world's leading food companies, the foods that they sold were far more likely to be hyperpalatable than similar foods not owned by tobacco companies. In the past 30 years, the hyperpalatable foods have spread rapidly into the food supply, coinciding with the surge in obesity and diet-related diseases. In America, the steepest increase in prevalence of hyperpalatable food occurred between 1988 and 2001, the era when Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds owned the world's leading food companies. Even though the tobacco companies no longer own these food brands, researchers say the findings matter because many of the ultra-processed foods that we eat today were engineered by an industry that wrote the playbook on products that are highly palatable, addictive, and appealing to children. So that is, and there is more on the article. It's from the Washington Post. I just had to give them a fake email address so that I could access this because they're a subscriber-only news source. But if you or someone you know has a fake email address that you want to use, or if you have a subscription and you want to support them, the link for that article will be in the description. But I looked at Nicholas and I went, so that's why Oreos taste so much better than the off-brand or all that other shit. Because when they said, the sodium and the salt and the fat, and I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, that's what makes the food taste good.
Mm-hmm. Especially that Kraft macaroni. Ooh,
oh
baby.
my God, I will fuck up some Kraft mac and cheese.
I like the shapes. I don't like the noodles.
The shapes are disgusting.
What? I like them.
They taste so terrible.
Really? You just-
Yes, it's a whole other noodle. That noodle tastes so weird. Because when I was a kid,
That's nasty. I don't like that noodle.
Little Jaron going over to somebody's house. We just have shapes.
No. I'm not eating that.
sorry, I only eat elbows.
I just want the elbows or nothing, bitch.
Oh, damn, son of a bitch.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
But yeah, Kim bought the shapes for the first time, and we came home and we went to eat it. And I was like, I don't like this. And then we never
They
bought
could
shapes
be a little
again.
al dente. You have to be careful. Was it the al dente or was it just the taste or the texture?
The taste. Let us know right in the comments.
Right in the comments. Al dente,
No. nothing to
shapes
do-
or
shapes or elbows.
shapes
Or do you
or
like shells?
elbows.
Or you like shells? Sally sells them down by the seashore. Who's Sally? Why the fuck she selling seashells? Why is she selling seashells when Kraft is out here selling them in mac and cheese boxes? And then RJ Reynolds and fucking Philip Morris is getting their cut.
Fucking nudes. I wonder if it's the same Philip Morris. Like, I love you, Philip Morris. In that movie.
No.
It's not the same Philip Morris.
No.
You never know. They're all kind of like hamsters. I mean,
But speaking of hamsters, I cut the grass for the last time today. There was a rat outside that was clearly dead, and he was like dead in the corner.
do you think a mouse got him? Probably.
You mean a cat?
Or cat.
Do you think a mouse got that rat? What is this? Mouse rat from Parks and Rec? With Andy?
Oh my god, my brain's like mashed potatoes.
Oh, good. Let's...
No wrinkles, all smooth.
A little cup. If
No
you're
wrinkles,
careful,
all smooth, raw.
and if you're careful, no, don't say that, Jared. I was gonna say it if you're. Anyway,
What else did you do this week?
we put up Halloween decorations. Nicholas got his skeleton. You guys.
Why are we doing that? We're millennials. We don't do that. What do we do?
Nothing.
Just sit there.
We just sit there and take it.
That's what our parents told us to do.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so on Tuesday, when we took the emergency day off, we went. One of our 7 stops that we took that day was going over to the fresh market because Nicholas's mom works there, and we get a discount on chicken.
Okay.
And we and it's I was gonna say it's homegrown. It's a farmer's market chicken.
Got it.
So very clean, pristine.
That's a clean chick.
It's got some nice titties.
Breasts.
So the lady, she was checking us out. She looks up. She goes, "Oh, hi, Nicholas. It's so good to see you. I'm so sorry your mom's not in today." And he was like, "Yeah, that's okay. But, we got to get him anyway. And this is my fiance, Jaron." And she goes, "Oh, my God, it's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you from Nicholas's mom. I heard you guys have been working really hard lately. I just think that's just so wonderful." We left, and I was like, "Yeah, it's so
hard.
I know." I was like, yeah, I bet she's probably thinking in her head, like, I'm so happy the generation before me fucked up this economy so bad that you have to work your ass
Yeah.
off like I do.
Yep.
And Nicholas was like, right, like, working hard? Why are you happy that we're working hard?
I know.
I mean, I'm sure, hey, Mom, let me know. Do you enjoy hearing that I'm a hardworking man? Dad, let me know. I'm sure you probably just love to hear that I'm a hardworking man. But also, like, I
Well, our
don't...
parents are Gen X or Gen Z, so
X.
no X, the Gen X. So
yeah.
like Yeah, they're gonna want us to work hard.
I know, but like, are you happy that I have to work so damn hard? Because are you happy that you have to work so damn hard? So anyway, it was nothing important, folks. Like, trust me, it's not like you're missing out on anything.
No, you're not.
No. How's your head this week?
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
that's good. I'm good too.
Yeah,
It's good to be good.
it's good.
It's good. And if anybody got some limes out there, just mix it with your coconut and mix it all up.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. That was a couple weeks ago. But still, every time I think of a margarita, I think of the Jimmy Buffett.
I think of Louise and her.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Did he write that song?
He and Alan Jackson did, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yay, alcoholism.
Right?
But drugs are bad. Don't you dare touch a pot leaf.
Right. But you can
Marijuana
drink away your
cigarette.
soul.
Yeah. Starting at 5 o'clock while you're on your way home.
Yep. In the car.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Stupid. All right. So.
All right. What do we we both have something to talk about today.
No.
No?
You did.
I know, I do. I thought you had one too.
Oh, Jesus Lord.
Holy body, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Is that what you were singing?
I was just riffing.
Riffing?
Yeah.
What's riffing?
Riffing is just like where you sing falsetto and you just sing like words and notes. Just
Oh, the thing I've been doing my whole life.
the whole life. You're the whole life.
My butthole life.
I've been listening to a lot of JT singing. God, fuck Justin.
Oh, Crimea River Boy did that. Eagle screech.
Wait, that don't sound like a fucking crow. Shut up.
Oh, did I?
You band breaker upper.
So basically, this week's episode is just a recap of last week.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, don't
I'm like
apologize.
fixated on it. Like
It was just so good. It was so good. Ben Shapiro.
there are no pronouns for that bitch.
Ben Shapiro was watching the video of Taylor at the VMAs, and he was like, "That was the longest video of my entire life." She's an AI. I was like, buddy,
Damn.
buddy, come on. A woman who's having a good time and you can't even enjoy yourself because your wife can't get wet? Sorry about you. Sorry, Mom. Oh, moving forward, when I say mom, I'm talking about Terry. So, sorry, Terry, because I know that she listens regularly.
You're gonna say I'm talking about Taylor. That's mother.
That's mother. Thank you.
That's mother. Just kidding.
Mommy. I love when mother turns into mommy. Oh, hey, guys, I'm going to start. I've been telling everybody this, and I won't even turn on. I won't even put TikTok on. Put it on like it's fucking news or something.
Well, some people it is. Shit. I just peed.
Do you need me to go get you up?
I mean, it wasn't a lot, but it was just a little bit. It was like. Man, that 34 is creeping up on me. It's like, baby, you need some Depends in here.
You do your Kegels?
I don't do them. I need to.
They're puss-ups.
I know. Because you can get whole atrophy. Trans men can.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you either use a dildo or Kegels.
And he told me about this in the car while he was dropping me off after one of our coffee dates. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Interesting. I'm just imagining you being like, well, I gotta do it. It's not
Doing
enjoyable.
it for the tea.
Yeah, do it for the tea. Do it for the tea. I'm sorry, you guys. I promise I'm not on drugs.
Just like my
did.
holes.
I did drink some cold brew. I'm drinking cold brew.
And a LaCroix.
Double
I
fisted.
have some water over here.
Some plain flat. Like a peasant.
Like a peasant. Take that back right now.
I know. I poured it for you, so I'm the peasant. You're flat, sir. Hey, if we were on video, you guys would be laughing with us, okay? If you're not laughing now...
Don't judge me.
I bet people who...
Oh, I'm sweating.
I bet people who... like know us personally are probably like, why
They
are
probably
you not
can
like
see
this?
us
No,
in their head.
I was thinking more like, why aren't you like this with me? Because you're not funny.
He'd be like, I think you know.
Because you're, you know. Okay.
Guess what we're talking about today?
I think you said it.
The total opposite of this whole vibe. The complete opposite of our vibe.
We're gonna do true crime, true TikTok crime, which is where Larz found this. We were making our plans for the next month and a half, 2 months, and he goes, there's this thing, it's trending right now, it's true crime. Put it on the calendar. We're doing it. We're doing it. So
We're doing it.
What is it?
Lake Lanier.
Oh, right. I knew it was Lake something.
So you've never heard of Lake Lanier?
No.
Okay, great. Well, I'm here to tell you about it.
Okay, where is this located?
So Lake Lanier is located in Gainesville, Georgia.
Gainesville,
Georgia.
Okay. Georgia.
It carries a very complex history.
Is that where the devil went down to sell his souls? And then find away behind, looking to make a deal. You play a pretty good fiddle, son. Let me sit right there. Let me show you how it's done. Round and round, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house and the rising sun. Pick it up, dog. No. Drug test me, mommy. I don't care. I am
Fucking that bean, let it go.
He's fucking himself with a dildo. I'm going to hell for that one.
That was mommying.
Oh my god.
You like channeled Taylor Swift for a moment. You came up with that quick. That was real cute.
Thank you. Well, I have been listening to her. She's all I listen to right now. I'm trying so hard to get her attention that I'm actually like playing her music when I'm not even listening to it, just so that I can be in the top 0.1%
Hell yeah.
listeners, and so that I can be like, hey, that's what I wanted to say earlier. No, forget it. I'll tell you guys about it when November gets here.
Okay.
Lake Lanier, down in Georgia.
Lake Lanier.
True crime.
So Lake Lanier has popped up again on social media,
Okay.
specifically TikTok again, because there have been more recent happenings there. And
Okay.
I'll get into those a little bit later because I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
Because I want to kind of talk through what it is. Like why is it a true crime? Hello?
I don't know if the mic picked that up.
Same, boy.
Oh, poor. Those are. You're probably.
He's like, why are you looking at me? Don't talk to me.
Because you keep licking shit. I know, baby. It's so hot in here, isn't it? I know, because Daddy's on one. Give me some attention, motherfucker.
Lady lump.
Oh, baby. Okay, Lake Lanier's been
Lake Lanier
been popping up.
has a very complex history.
Okay.
So again, it's popped up more on social media because there's been some recent happenings that have kind of stemmed like the background of the lake.
Okay.
And kind of goes into why things have been happening and why it's such an important thing to talk about. So again, it's located in Gainesville, Georgia. It stretches across 59 miles or 38 56,000 square acres of land and holds 625 billion gallons of water.
Literally, America will measure
I
anything
know.
except for metrics. They'd be like, this baby can hold so much fucking spaghetti. It can hold
Mashed potatoes.
lumpy tots. Okay. Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier. It was built by man, and it was actually built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And it was a project that spanned from 1950 to 1957. And they built it out of necessity to provide hydroelectric power, flood control, navigation, and water supply to the city of Atlanta and surrounding areas. And it still does to this day.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
When this project started, they knew that they were going to have to pay off some families because it was a town. And there was 700 families that were basically not misplaced, but just asked to move.
Oh, okay. So like, hey, we're coming in to buy your land.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a total of 56,000 acres to the government. And then after that happened, they gave them actually money in return for this, but it was not anywhere near enough to live off of.
Okay.
So that's kind of just like a really quick like synopsis of like what Lake Lanier is. However, the history isn't about how it was made, but what it was made from. So the land underneath Lake Lanier was once a lush and vibrant farmland town owned by a black community.
Okay.
The town was known as Oscarville. Oscarville was founded by freed slaves during the Reconstruction era and was home to hundreds of carpenters, blacksmiths, farmers, and bricklayers. This community thrived for years until 1912 when a white woman named May Crow was found beaten and essayed in a nearby woods.
Oh.
She later died from her injuries, and most of the research that I found was that she was like less than a mile from her home. Nobody came forward about it. Again, she died later of her injuries. The family and the friends found out about it. They immediately went to the black community. That caused like an uproar and numerous angry mobs from Fourths, I think it's pronounced Fourths County,
Okay.
which is just a nearby like town. They took over the town and pushed the black community out, losing their land and their livelihood.
Of course.
And this actually took place a couple times.
You said you said she was a white woman?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, they're going to assume that it was a black person that did
Yes.
this.
So basically, in a nutshell, like they had to point the finger somewhere.
Right.
And this was in the middle of like, this was the early 1900s. So like,
Right.
I mean, the black community's even more vulnerable because this predates Jim Crow.
Right. And this is when did slaves technically become free?
1865.
Oh, right. It took 100. Segregation was an entire 100 years.
Yes.
Okay, so this is like the middle of segregation.
Yes.
Okay.
It's after. The city itself, Oscarville, was founded after the slaves were freed.
Okay.
So they've been there for a while.
Okay.
And then this happened.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When all was said and done, the black community obviously they were just relocated to the surrounding area. And I do have like a quote from a guy whose grandfather was there when this happened. His name is George Rucker. It doesn't mention his grandfather's name, but he mentions that when the night riders came through, which was the mob, we had to leave everything. When the mob got to the bridge where they were, they had two options. They either had to swim or drown. So there was a lot of lives lost during this.
Right.
So he said that he had to leave his property, and he had 100 acres of land. So
What?
yeah, that's a lot of acres, especially for somebody who was just recently freed,
Right.
who probably had nothing.
I mean, that 100 acres, that's practically a county.
And that was typical back then. Like
Village.
most people who own land, there was always a plethora of land.
Right.
It wasn't like this 2-acre bullshit that we see now.
Right. Well, because they weren't trying to stack homes on top of homes.
Yeah, they were trying to live off of it, and that was your money, because really money wasn't paper until only a couple hundred years ago.
Right.
So
Right. This is the original homes being an investment.
yes,
Yeah.
basically. He said most of the people didn't make it, and my grandfather, he was one of them that did, but he lost his brothers and sisters.
That's so sad.
Yeah, very sad. So since we have the dark history of that land that's underneath Lake Lanier, it's conjuring up a lot of like beliefs that there's some sort of haunting, or there is a lot of still like sundowning going on in that area.
Yes. And if anybody doesn't know what sundowning is, before Larz was on the show, Heather and I did an episode on sundown towns, and you can find that in the back catalog.
Yes. Another thing that is really sad about the land that's under Lake Lanier is that a lot of there was a lot of unmarked graves. And it was from not only Oscarville, the black community, but it was also some of the surrounding area.
Okay.
So it's estimated that nearly 20 cemeteries were impacted by the creation of Lake Lanier.
Okay.
Cemeteries were moved to the higher...
Whole cemeteries.
Yes, like
Jesus
plots of lands.
Christ. Okay.
Yeah, like plots of lands, individual graves. Cemeteries were moved to the higher ground in areas around the lake's future boundaries.
Okay.
However, while the Corps made every effort at time to locate unmarked burials, the limited capabilities of the time made it probable that unanticipated finds of human remains are possible, whether from the antebellum and Civil War periods or of Native American origin from pre-colonial and ancient times. They said that the technological side of things during that time, which was about 70 years ago when they did this project, were really just less than ideal.
Yeah.
So like there was no way. It makes me think, well, if it was just like, if it was a black community, did they really even like care?
No, the white people?
Yeah, like
No,
like
my
the government.
God.
Like I honestly feel like it was just like, oh well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It would be like, well, some of you may die, and that's something that I am willing to deal with.
Yeah.
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah. Lord Farquaad. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to say it.
Yeah. The casualties are going to be had. It's just part of the business.
Yeah. So as for Lake Lanier now, many people believe it's haunted, but it has lots of like drownings and murders connected to it.
Okay.
So not just because of the submerged cemeteries, but because of the high number of missing people. They say that more than 700 people have died in the swimming and boating accidents on the lake since 1994. And
Since 1994?
yeah. So 700 was the higher number that I found, but
Yeah.
I was getting so many different totals of like actual casualties. Officials said that there is an entire town that includes structures and even forest areas with trees that are 60 feet tall. This is what they think causes some of the drownings.
Okay.
Because it's hard to navigate when you're swimming if you're having to dodge all these trees, like underwater.
There are trees still
yeah.
growing from the ground.
Doesn't that make you just want to throw up?
Yeah, because those trees were not meant to continue to live under those conditions, but they are living. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna get my revenge.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Oh my god.
This is kind of like, this is just a side like thing that I found. They said that when the divers go down there, they still see debris and pieces of the town like just sitting there, and there's pictures of it.
So did they not like clean this up?
So everything that I found, all the research that I found when they were actually preparing to make, like, to fill it up, to fill the land up with water, is that they took everything that they could that they knew was gonna float up. They took like street lights down, they took houses down. They tried to shave the trees as best as they could. Obviously, they got all the cars out, but there are still things down there that either were just too big for them to remove, or they just didn't care and they just filled the land up with water.
Is this in a valley?
It does look like a valley. When I was looking at some of the pictures, there is some high points and then there's some low points. It's like a canyon almost.
Okay, because the ability for that much stuff to be underwater seems almost impossible. Unless it was in some sort of valley itself.
I know that there is a racetrack that's still underground or underwater.
Okay.
But there's people that have claimed to have seen bones of people down there, but that's all just subjective and conjecture of other people talking.
For anybody, if you Google Lake Lanier and you go to Wikipedia and it shows you a photo of the lake from above in the sky, it looks almost like almost like it almost looks like electricity hit a piece of wood, and then like the electricity just kind of like traveled as far as it could, because it doesn't, when I'm thinking lake, I think of like a body of water that's like an oblong shape, if anything, or like a circle, and this is nothing like that.
Yeah, it's real wild.
Yeah.
Christmas Day in 1964 is known as the deadliest day at Lake Lanier, when a driver lost control of their car while crossing a bridge. The car then flipped into the lake where 5 children and 2 adults drowned.
Ooh, that was the year my dad was born.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Ooh. More recently, and this happened this year on August 3rd, the body of a 27-year-old man was found in Georgia's Lake Lanier. Days earlier, he had disappeared and drowned while swimming. The week before, another man drowned in the lake, and a few days before that, on July 27th, another 24-year-old jumped into the lake where he was electrocuted and then died.
Electrocuted?
He was electrocuted.
How the fuck do you get electrocuted in a lake?
I'm looking it up right now.
The ghosts. Oh my god.
A burning sensation, he recognized an electric shock. He just jumped into the water, swam ashore. Hold on.
O'Reilly's.
O'Reilly.
Oh, we can get there from Fort Wayne in an hour and 56-minute plane, right?
Ooh.
Oh, do you want to go? No, thank you.
It just says something about a power box. Authorities said that the neighbors swam ashore and turned off a power box before pulling Milner from the water. So there must have been some sort of electricity
That was accidentally dumped.
that was, yeah. That's wild. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, well, okay, honestly, with the shape of this lake, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Because there is no consistency with the coastline for them to be able to, like, prevent these things from happening. Oh, look at that. There's a picture of the lake and electricity. Yeah, probably talking about that very same situation that you're discussing.
Yeah, one of the people that recently drowned was found 46 feet under the water.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh, look, there's even a movie.
Yeah, I have that in my notes, that there is a movie that I think is currently available to watch online called Lake Lanier.
Yeah.
And it was released this year.
Yes, that's what it says.
Yeah. And I think it's on Vimeo. Is that what you call it?
Vimeo?
I'm an old man. I don't remember.
I don't
But it's free.
I don't know what Vimeo is, but I know it's one of those.
It's
like
free.
And if it's free, it's a me. It's a me. It's a me. Free. It's super free.
It's wild.
If death is a triggering thing, I wouldn't recommend looking at these photos, but there are some really sad photos of underneath the water.
So going back to May Crow, the white woman that was found assaulted in the woods, that created the spiral of events that took place with Oscarville.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the absence of witness or evidence, there was a 24-year-old black man named Rob Edwards who was arrested. Edwards was then taken from the county jail by a mob of white residents, brutally beaten with crowbars, shot repeatedly, and dragged to the town square where his mutilated body was lynched.
But is there any evidence saying that he had any?
No.
So does it say why they thought it was him?
From what I have here, it says additionally Edwards' wife, Jane Daniel, their neighbor Ed Collins, Jane's cousin, Oscar Daniel, Oscar Daniel's cousin, were arrested. Knox and Oscar Daniel, both teens, were convicted of all white juries before they being hung in front of 5,000 spectators.
Of course.
It doesn't say why.
He was probably just the last person to be seen near her or seen speaking with her in public. Well, I definitely don't have any interest in going to Lake Lanier. This is awfully very sad. I mean, it's just more like white supremacist history and how innocent black people are accused of violent crimes. And I mean, is that any different than like what we still deal with today? No. But I would say that like after seeing the photos of the way that this lake looks, I mean, this would be a great place to dump some bodies. I mean, you've got so many nooks and crannies to have water access to. And it's just, again, like I would recommend at least like looking at a photo and seeing what this lake looks like overall, not necessarily like what's underneath of it if you're not into that kind of stuff. But the circumference of that lake, I bet, is larger than the span of the lake itself, just because of how it travels back and forth. And it's,
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too.
I'm good. I have a fear of the unknown in deep waters, and knowing that there are like trees and submerged homes that does it make me feel better knowing that at least we know that's in there a little bit? But I mean, I can just think like, if I were to like accidentally move my foot and hit something, my first thought would be like, oh, it's a dead body.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. When I was going through this, and it just was showing me again that our country not only tries to erase people, but it also tries to erase their land and their homes and their history. And I think perhaps there's something more to the lake in the spiritual realm as well.
Yeah.
But when I was looking at TikToks, there was some conversation about how there was multiple black men that were missing around this area.
Uh-huh.
And so that was just kind of like what sparked my interest in wanting to know a little bit about some of the crimes or some of the deaths that have happened in that area.
I wonder why it's specifically black men that are going missing.
I think it's because of the area. Mm-hmm. It's Atlanta. And like,
which is a primarily black
right,
city.
Yes. And I think that the history around that area plays into that.
Yeah.
With the racial tension.
Yeah.
That has always been present in Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is the way that we are ending this episode is on a completely different note than how we started this
total
episode.
Vibe change.
Yeah. So if anybody's like, hey, like, God, you guys were so annoying in the beginning. Well, guess what? We calmed down. The caffeine is no longer kicking. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
Oh, I do.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, when is it?
Jenny called me at work yesterday. So Jenny called me yesterday, and I thought something was wrong because she usually doesn't text me at work and tell me to call her unless something's going on. But she was like, everything's fine. Just give me a call. So I call her on my break, and she told me that the SSI Restoration Act is being presented again in Congress. SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act is bipartisan. It hasn't been updated since 1984. Currently, the current asset limit is $2,000 or $3,000 depending for couples. So if this were to be passed, it would increase it to $10,000 to $20,000 as an asset limit for couples. It's important to know that asset limit isn't just money in the bank, it's anything of value. So it could be jewelry, your home, TV, anything that's of value. Anything.
And even, I believe she had said, even like if she were to receive a gift.
Yes.
And food.
Yes.
Which is crazy because
the government literally says on the website for SSI and SSDI that trash, like food in the trash, is something that these people should look for. Yeah. Basically. And that should be a part of your like the way that you live.
Yeah. And people have to choose between maintaining their insurance. And Jenny's wheelchair costs 6 times more than this asset limit.
Yes.
And so it's making it impossible for people on disability who need the disability to be able to maintain their disabilities and to maintain a life.
That right there, like, why should something that's going to create a person's life better, why is it more money than what the government's giving you?
Right.
That right there should just be a red flag for anybody. It also will create marriage equality. So currently there is no marriage equality. So again, if Jenny and I were to get married, currently she would lose all of her health benefits. And I don't currently make enough money to support both of us. So that's one of the reasons why we are not married. It sucks to have to like be together for so long and be like, no, this is just my girlfriend, or this is just my boyfriend. And all these people around you are getting married and having children. And it's just like, damn,
so much of
is marriage equality really a thing? Like the LGBTQIA has more quality or marriage equality than a person who's disabled. I'm just looking at some of the bullet points that she wanted me to go over real quick. In-kind maintenance and supports counts as income. So this includes but not limited to rent, utility assistance, gifts of food, like we said, discarded food. But please get a hold of your state representatives. Ask them to look through this SSI bill. Have them vote for it. If you want us to post any type of like script, we can. Like, we can always post a script that you can just call them up and be like, hey, this is what you say. This is all you got to say. You don't even have to talk to a person.
She has access to all of that stuff. So we're going to have Jen actually post that on our Instagram page.
It's not only important for the people who are currently disabled, but it really is just a right as just a human and an American citizen, because this could happen to anybody at any time.
Right.
You can get hit by a bus tomorrow, and then you're going to be just in the same position as these people, and it's just the right thing to do. There is no way that anybody in this economy should have to live off of $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, just because that they're disabled.
Right.
And then if you ask for help and you're pulling yourself up, quote unquote, by your bootstraps, then you get penalized for it. So it's very much a twisted system. And I think about all those conversations I've had when I was younger, where it's like, oh, they're just using the system, or they're just lazy, they're just not wanting to work, and it's all fraud, like they can still work. But yeah, there's people that can still work, but it doesn't mean there's still limitations to that person.
Right.
And if somebody is cheating the system, let me know, because it's hard as fuck to get into it. Jenny had to get a lawyer to actually get these benefits.
Right.
So come at me.
Who did your work pro bono, right?
Right. Yeah, who did our work pro bono.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again, Jen and Larz were not, like, what kind of family can afford a lawyer to do that stuff?
They can't.
Yeah, and don't be like me and cut Babybel cheeses and call them fetal bells because it's smaller than a baby bell. Anyway, that's us, and this is us, and this is us.
This is everything.
We are. Okay, Kesha, rock on. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, everybody. We love you so much.
We love you so much.
And you'll see us next Monday, and this is us signing out.
Bye.
Oh, I was waiting for you to finish you were going to take a sip.
Let's do it.
Bye. Now take your drink. Drink your flat.